All right, what's up, everybody? I got my buddy Todd Michael Jameson in the house. What's going on, Todd?
What's up, Max? How are you, my friend?
I'm good. Thank you for doing this, man. Been a big fan of yours for a long time, and yeah, I see you play the same places. I see your guitar picks laying around everywhere I go, which is hilarious. And it's funny. I think I have like, and I didn't steal all of them at all, but
Oh,
I
you
took
can
I
feel
took
free.
like I took like three of them. I think some Simpson ones or something. They're pretty funny.
It
But
it's funny. There still is one at up in that old spot at Maple Tavern. There's still one that's back in there that where we don't play anymore, and it's
yeah.
so faded. It's a pink one. You can barely even see the logo on anymore. It's stuck up in like a conduit or something. It's pretty
Oh,
funny.
really? That's awesome, though. No, yeah, I always laugh every time. Like, well, Todd's been here, so he's just leaving his shit everywhere.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, give me some backstory. We kind of know each other. We play a lot of the
hmm
same gigs, like I said. But yeah, I
Yeah.
never really had the chance to really sit down and talk to you. So this is why I kind of started doing this. And so yeah, where'd you grow up?
So I grew up basically southern Minnesota and Scottsdale, Arizona. So I went back and
Okay.
forth a lot as a kid. But I graduated from Albert Lee, so that's basically where 35 and 90 meet.
Yeah.
So I went essentially I was born in Iowa, which is crazy, and then I moved up to Minnesota when I was 4 or 5, and then yeah, between like age I don't know, 10 and 19, I was back and forth to Arizona every couple of years. And then, like I said, graduated from Albert Lee and then went back to Arizona for a year. And then I came up to Minneapolis in like 2000 or 19, was it 1990? So I was 19 at the time.
Okay.
So, and I've been up here ever since.
Sure. Okay.
Yeah. And then,
Yeah,
so
that's
from there, I mean, it's kind of funny. I play a lot now, but back then, I mean, I played in bands in high school and played
mhm.
in a band in high school, and a little bit after, nothing that really played out a whole lot. And then once I had kids, got married and had kids, I didn't touch a guitar or anything for about a decade. I mean, I had one guitar. I mean, I have tons now, but I had one left and it was underneath my storage in my house, and I didn't touch it for I bet almost a decade,
Oh,
and it
really?
was kind
Okay.
of
Yeah.
it's crazy, and it's kind of funny. My dad, but so my son, who's about your age, he uh, he wanted one. He wanted a guitar, so my dad bought this little mini V. I mean, it was like this big. It was a Flying V. It had a little amp. It was some Gibson brand, but it was one of like their super low end. I don't
Sure.
even know what the brand. It wasn't a phone. It was way lower than that. And I
Yeah.
don't know, something about getting that out of the package and tuning it up. It just like something clicked, man. It was like, man, that fire just like clicked. And then from there, I went on to played in a metal band for a little while, and then that didn't work out so well. So I ended up going. I don't know if you remember, I was in the band called the Good Bars. I was in that band for about eight
Okay.
years, and that one we did pretty well. I mean, we put out a couple of records, and we did of course the rock fests and played big shows around here, and it was an amazing band to be in for a long time. And but at the same time, towards the I suppose the end of the middle of that round, I started to branch out because I was an original band. We did obviously did our own stuff, and so I started. A friend of mine, my best friend, asked me to play bass in a just a three-piece cover band, and ended up doing that. From there, I ended up at one time. I think I was in five different things. I was in the Good Bars. I was in that band, which was the Bottle Chasers. You can kind of see the logo back there on his
Sure.
drum
Yep.
head. Unfortunately, he passed away about 10 years ago. But so that I was in that. I was in the Good Bars. I was in the Bottle Chasers. I was in a Nirvana tribute called Lithium.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep, and then I played with I don't know if you know Mark Stone and the Dirty Country Band.
Yeah, I know the
He's
name. I've never met him,
yeah,
but I've seen him.
he's a guy that's been around for a long, long time as well. He's a little bit older than me, but played with him, and then I started the duo thing, and then my solo. So at one time, I think I was doing like five things at one time, and I just
Yeah.
started to drop them off. And as you know, I mean, once you it's hard to schedule that kind of stuff. And so,
Oh, yeah.
long story short, I went from playing in high school. I not only played music, but I played hockey as well. So I was doing both of those. And then once I got out of high school and was up here and met my wife and got married and had kids and just didn't do it. And then just kind of slowly got back into playing. I basically hid in my basement for quite a while, just kind of relearning how to play in a sense because I hadn't picked up an instrument for
Right.
a decade. And it was an old, and I still have it. It's a black Kramer with the Floyd on it, and and it's stickers all over it, and
Yeah, I mean, I suppose your priorities kinda change when you have
it
kids
did.
and,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah, it certainly did. And I honestly wasn't doing anything anyway, so it wasn't like I was playing a little bit, but I wasn't out in the scene playing. So it was, it wasn't like I was giving up anything in a sense. I mean, I had kind of taken the path of okay, I'm going to go get, go work in the IT world and do that thing and, get have kids and was married and but I don't know, something about that little flying V, man. Once I had that in my hands, it was like something flipped.
Yeah. And, so when you were growing up playing music, was it all just cover bands, or were you guys just jamming your own stuff that you were making,
Pretty
or
much cover. I mean, when I first started, I don't think, that was, I started playing guitar when I was 14. I
Okay.
had one when I was about 8 because
Sure.
Ace Frehley was, I started listening to Kiss when I was 5 years old and I wanted a guitar so bad. I mean, as soon as I heard Kiss, I wanted to play. But
That was, like, your main band, kinda got
oh
you
my god,
going?
that them and Cheap Trick too. So yeah, so about 8, 9 years old, I begged and begged my mom for a guitar. So we went with the back then they had these catalogs and JC Penney's. And we walked in with the JC Penney's and we were gonna order this, I don't know what it was. And the lady that was running the cash register said, well, I have one for sale if you want to buy that. So we bought this. I mean, it's literally a piece of shit. I mean, it was
It's all you need. Yeah.
it had maybe like 5 strings, right?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I didn't try to learn. All I did was, strap it on and pretended like I was Ace Frehley
Same, yeah.
until I was about 13. Then I started to like, you know what? I'd like to do it. And then I think it was when I turned 14, I started to take lessons but yeah, Kiss was it, man. That was the reason why I started. My cousin, I don't know why I was doing this, but I was flipping through my cousin. I was 5 years old, and I was flipping through my cousin's records, and a Kiss "Dress to Kill" popped up, and I looked
Okay.
at that cover. I'm like, "What the hell is this?" I had never heard them. I
Yeah.
just thought I was just intrigued by this cover,
Right.
and for some reason, let me take it home, and I put that on, and that first song, I just think it's "Room Service" on that record. Dude, I was hooked. I mean, that's why I'm sitting here talking to you today is that drop of that needle, hearing that first song and hearing
Yeah.
that record. And then it was Cheap Trick, and then, that was actually my first concert was Cheap Trick, and I've seen them many, many times since, but
When did
yeah,
that
those
Dress to
2.
Kill come out? Was that mid-70s?
It was early 7, I wanna say it was
Yeah,
like
look it up.
74, 75, 76, somewhere in that range. But yeah, it was and
75.
it was a
I think
75? Yeah, I
75.
knew it was somewhere in that range. I mean, it was obviously out before I found it, but,
Sure.
after that, I think anytime I could add another Kiss record to my collection, I did, and, they've always been it for me, and the reason why I do it. I mean, they were just for some reason, any band like that you hear and it just does something,
Just
you
sticks,
know?
yeah.
I mean, it turned that switch on, I guess, if you will,
Yeah, I
and,
mean, my band was AC/DC. That was my,
yeah,
you know remember, like, listening to Back in Black the first time or any of
yeah.
those songs, and just like, "Oh, man, this is sick." And my
That
dad
was
took
my
me.
son's too. My
Was it?
son
I feel
was
like that's every kid's band, like,
yeah,
their dads you just grow up and their dads are showing you, you know, every single
yeah.
AC/DC record there is,
It
and,
was
yeah, I still got my dad's big tapestry in the background in my
yeah,
room and, like, um yeah, and it's funny because like, even with, like, the ticket stubs and stuff, like, going to shows back then, like, my dad, he
yeah,
still has some that were, 12
yep,
bucks or 18 bucks. Now it's 180 bucks. You wanna go see
right.
AC/DC or
Yeah,
something,
some of mine said like 750 or $10 or, and
Yeah.
but I think when you were talking to, Bill Litzau, I think you had said that your first was AC/DC. Was it Black, Black
Black
Ice.
Ice. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
My son and I took my son, that was his first show as well. So
Oh,
he
really?
had those
Okay.
light up Angus
The little
horns.
horn things.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
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 God, dude, I looked at the merch booth. Those things are $25 this last time
Were they?
around when they were in town, and that whole place was filled at US
Oh
Bank.
yeah.
I'm just like,
Yeah.
Jesus, and they're buying those things for 50
Pennies.
cents,
Yeah.
if that, quarter.
It's just like, well, you know how much t-shirts are, and you know how much you
Yeah.
pay for them at a concert like that. You're paying $50 for
God,
a show. The
man.
shirt costs you $7, right? It's so
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, but I was just looking at that. I was like, $25 for this is plastic and cheap. And I found one just sitting there and I took it home. And
oh, did you?
I don't even think that people bought it there because I think someone brought their own because it was
Oh,
like
did they?
no labels on it. I'm
Yeah.
like, shit, that's the way to do it, man,
Yeah.
To buy
Find
yours.
the generic AC/DC horns.
Yeah. But no, dude, I remember, yeah, I think it was 2000, was it 2008 or 7, that Black
I
Ice?
think it was somewhere around there because it was in a matter of a year. I took him to that, and then to Judas Priest and Whitesnake over in St. Paul, that outdoor
Dude,
thing.
I was there too.
Were you there? Yeah,
The British Steel, the British Steel one when they did the back to back.
I think it was. Yeah, because it was
Yeah.
at whatever that park is across the river in St. Paul.
Henriette Island.
Yeah,
Taste of
there you go.
Minnesota.
Yep,
It's Taste of
yep.
Minnesota. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it was right around like 4th of July or something like that.
Yep.
Right around that
Yeah.
time.
It
Yeah.
was a free
Yep.
show, and then yeah, I was there too. Yeah, my dad brought my parents, yeah, me and my brother went there,
That's
and
awesome.
that's the first time. So it's funny. I remember going to that and him like, just Rob Halford rolling up in his big Harley, and
Oh
I
yeah.
love that um it's that United song, and then
Oh yeah.
the Grinder, dude. I remember when they played Grinder, I was like, "This is fucking awesome, dude."
Oh yeah.
and
United. Yeah. Yeah. United that was on with same one with like heading out the highway was on, I think, wasn't it? I can't remember, but yeah, it was
um,
so that's a good tune. But yeah, that
yeah,
was so I took him to that, and I remember we were in the free spot because remember you could
same.
get and
hmm
you could get across the fence, but you had to pay to get into there. But we were right on the fence.
Same,
We're
dude. Fuck, we were
were
probably
you?
standing right next to each
We're
other.
probably standing next to each other.
Yeah, I remember like my brother and I, we're 3 feet tall, and all these other
Yeah,
guys are grown ups because like there's not. I mean, I do remember there being kids there, but like not by the rail. Um,
yeah.
But I remember like these adults were like, "This is," when adults see like little kids, they're like, "This is
Oh yeah.
fucking sick," and yeah, they pushed us right up, and we're like sitting there watching, and that was like KK and Glenn Tipton, like that was
Oh
the
yeah.
full
It
lineup,
was
right?
other than
So
the drummer, it was the original band. Yeah.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
shit,
that's
can't beat
sweet.
that.
That's funny. We probably were pretty because that's the same kind of thing. I mean, when you have a kid with you,
Yeah,
things like those metal dudes are like, get that kid up there, and so
yeah.
you can see the best you can.
Where if you
So
were looking at the stage, were you like on the right side or left side, center? Do you
I was
remember?
kind of, I think we were kind of on the KK side, so that would have been from where we were standing on the left side. Yeah,
Dude,
so
yeah,
stage right, and
me too. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, we were
that's
probably
hilarious,
pretty
dude.
close to each other, man. I mean, back then, I think I was probably shaving my head still, so I didn't look like this at all. I mean,
Well, I remember going to that fall. I remember going to wrestling practice. My dad brought me to the next town over, and I was talking to this other kid there because he was wearing a Judas Priest shirt. And I'm like, "Hey, I saw Judas." How old that was? What year? I don't remember what year that was.
it
I
would have
don't know
been
how
like
old I was.
2009, I think.
Yeah, that sounds
8 or
Yeah, yeah, that
9,
sounds
something
right.
like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. I think so. But yeah, I remember going to the wrestling practice, and this kid was wearing a Judas Priest shirt. I'm like, "Hey, I saw Judas Priest this summer, a few months ago." And he's like, "I was there too." And then I just remember him telling me, "Do you know that Rob Halford likes boys?" And I was like, "What?" And I was like, blew my mind. We're sitting there wrestling. That was the first thing like told me.
That's where he went, huh?
That was the first thing. I'm like, "Yeah, I went and seen Rob Halford." He's like, "Me too." Or I went and seen Judas Priest. Me too. Do you know Rob Halford likes boys? I was like, "What?" Oh, it was
Oh,
hilarious. I
that's
remember
funny.
asking my dad, and that was the first time I was figuring that out in my life. Rob Halford. Yeah. Yeah.
No, I remember it being a good show, though. I mean,
That
yeah,
was
I think that
fun.
was the last time I saw him with KK, and then, well, even the last time I saw him, they didn't even have Glenn Tipton with him anymore, so, because
Yeah.
of his illness. But then, yeah, then after that, I think that same year, maybe it was even a couple weeks later, we went to Green Day. So in the
Okay.
matter of less than a year, he went to, those 3 shows. But that I mean, that was my thing, though. I mean,
Yeah.
as much as I still, I mean, he's been to Metallica many, many times, and anytime Maiden comes to town or Ghost comes to town, he's
Oh
always
yeah.
in for those shows too. So, like you, he he's into the metal stuff and
Where
likes
does
that
he
stuff.
where does he live? Is he with
He lives not too far from where I live here. I
Okay.
live in Champlin, so northwestern suburbs, and he's not too far from here.
Okay.
He's almost done with school. He's going to be a teacher. So,
Oh shit,
but
okay.
he and his girlfriend bought a house a couple of years ago, not too far from where we live, but uh,
What's he teaching? Is he like a
he's
elementary or
gonna
like
be
a
in high school social studies. So right now he's a student teacher over at what is that, Brooklyn Center, Park Center.
okay. Dude, that's literally what I was saying. I was thinking about going into teaching too, into like history and
Oh
social studies and stuff.
yeah,
They were like the
that's
same
cool.
person.
Yeah, you're right.
Sure
Yeah,
you're
he
not my
plays. I
dad.
mean,
I'm
obviously he's a guitar player too. So
damn,
you
dude.
guys do have a lot in common. That's for
Shit,
sure.
I should
But
find him on Facebook.
he's
It'd be
definitely
funny.
not somebody that wants to play in front of anybody. He's a good player. He just has no interest in it, which is totally cool. You know.
Yeah, I feel like I always used to be like that way too, but it's just something, you just get the reps in, you
Yeah.
know. I
Yeah.
remember playing in front of at some Christmas show in 5th grade. I played like Holy Night, I think, and then the teacher was like, "Oh, play whatever you want at the end," you know.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I remember there was like I still remember it was like 208 people in the audience,
Oh
and
wow.
I
It's a
remember,
good
yeah,
start.
yeah, it scared me shitless, but, I remember
Yeah.
my dad was showing me, like, some Slayer riffs and, like, some random stuff like that, and I'm
Yeah.
playing that at the Christmas concert, I'm like, "Oh god." Look back, and my dad's probably slumping in his chair like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
probably.
shit." Yeah.
Although probably most of those people didn't know what a Slayer riff was, right?
No, but it did not sound like Holy Night, it did not sound like Christmas music, so there's that.
That's awesome.
No, that's funny. How old is your son?
He's 28. Yeah,
Okay.
so just a couple years older than you are.
Yeah, so I'm 26. Be
Yeah.
27 in
And then I
July.
have a 21-year-old daughter as well goes to Winona State. So
Okay.
she's actually gonna be a teacher as well, but she's going for middle school math is what she's gonna teach. So
Okay. Okay.
yeah,
And then are you still doing IT stuff or no? Just kind of
a little
side
bit,
projects?
just side, yeah, yep,
Okay.
yep. But
And
yeah, so
music
with
music's
music.
just the main.
Well, it's a lot, obviously, as we you and I have talked
Yeah.
times and about it, and you know, as you said, I mean, what did you do? 150 shows last year. That's a lot of
Yeah, I
shows,
did
and I just
150 and then you threw it back on me and said, "Oh, you did 220 or
220,
something?"
I think,
That's
something like that. Yeah,
insane,
it
dude.
was right under 220,
That's
and it was a
insane.
lot. I mean, if this year stays, I mean, a lot of it. This year will be pretty busy too. But hopefully not. I mean, as much as I love, and I have a hard time saying no. So if somebody
Yeah.
offers and I'm open, I take it.
Why not?
Um, but this year I've tried to maybe trim it down a little bit because as you know, summers for what we do. I am burnt when we hit
Yeah.
September. When you're doing 6, 7, 8, 9 gigs in a week or something, when you're doing doubles on Saturday and Sunday, it's too much. It's
Yeah.
especially when you're singing 3, 4 hours a night or afternoon. You sing 3 hours in the afternoon, and then you go to sing 3 hours that night somewhere else. And not only
Yeah.
that, your fingers. I mean, playing 6 hours of guitar on an acoustic 6 or 7 hours in a day. That's a lot of.
Well, and that's one thing that's nice about me because when I started doing solo gigs, I didn't sing, I didn't my
Mhm.
balls were still not dropped yet, so I was, just doing the instrumental stuff, and, that's still nice because, like, I just started singing, so, like, now if people hear me singing, they're like,
Yeah,
you know, that's still a new thing, so it's kinda nice
which
because
sounds great, man.
I can still
As I told
revert
you
back.
before.
Oh, thank you, dude. No, I can revert back to the instrumental stuff, so I don't have a total problem unless my
Mhm.
fingers are just, like, so damn red and I gotta put fricking 3 layers of super glue on them on some of those days, but, like, yeah, with an acoustic, man, I couldn't do it. I played acoustic for 2 hours the other night at,
Yeah,
a duo gig, and I was like, "Dude, screw that," like, my freaking finger and I got the light ones on there.
yeah,
I got little bitch hands too, so, like, I don't yeah, yeah,
yeah. I've got. Well, you probably can't see it on cameras, but I've got permanent indents in my fingers from the acoustics. Because
yeah.
I don't play super. I play 11 to 52s, so they're
Hey, man,
custom
that's heavier
lights,
than mine.
and and I'm not really doing any soloing on it. It's more just kind of cowboy coordinate as much
Yeah.
as I can. That's what I try to because it's easier just to cowboy chord it through a 3 4 hour show instead of trying to work that hard on things. So,
Well,
and it
and
seems
I
to be working okay.
yeah, and, like, I have you noticed that, like, do you is it you still get the same response from just kind of strumming and singing and then
Yes.
opposed to, doing kind of the fancier stuff?
Yep.
It's
100%. That's
same
why
st
I learned early on, just not dumb it down, but you know what I mean? Make it as easy as possible where
Yeah,
it's
like,
still
you don't have to
super recognizable.
yeah, you don't have to embellish every little
No.
everything,
No,
you know?
but it is fun when you play with something. I do a few different duos on occasion with with guys that are, good players like you, and it's fun to watch you guys do it. Where I can just strum along and you guys can do the shredding. And I play with a guy, Jake Torkelson. I don't know if you're familiar with
I don't think
Jake,
so, no.
Baby Jake. We have a duo called the Shit Show that we do like once a month in the summer.
Okay.
It's funny because it started out as he was looking for a gig. This was years ago. He's like, he just put it on Facebook. You know how we do once in a while. He's like, anybody need a guitar player? I'm
Yeah,
like, what the hell? We've never played together. Let's just do it. It was like a couple weeks before. I'm like, just come out. Let's just jam. And we just as a joke, we called it the Shit Show. And then we ended up getting a monthly gig at Halftime Rec in St. Paul for a few years.
okay.
And then that stopped. And now we're just doing it once a month at Halftime Rec, or not Halftime Rec, but Maple Tavern on a Sunday.
Oh,
Uh,
nice, yeah.
in the summer. So,
Okay. Sure.
uh, but yeah, so it's fun to watch. He's one of those, and they call him Baby Jake because he did a lot of touring when he was really young with the in the blues circuit. And dude's a really good player, and it's fun to watch him. He doesn't use a pick. He's one of those guys that doesn't use a
Oh,
pick.
yeah,
And it's super cool to watch him play like that. It's impressive. But so it's a lot of the Shit Show is a lot of it's over time it's gotten where we know each other and we play well together.
yeah.
But and, it's stupid dad jokes in between or just being goofy, and it's a lot of fun. So, but
Is is he your age too?
he's a little bit younger. I
Okay,
think he's maybe 4 5 6 years younger than me.
okay,
But he does the solo thing. He's played around. He like I said, he did a lot of the blues scene, but he played with Roger Allen Band for a while, which is a country band that was around town.
okay,
Excuse me. He's been playing with Elijah Adam a little bit. He's another guitar player, blues kind of guy around town. He does a solo thing at I think it's called Granite City over in Maple Grove. He does that every Thursday,
sure.
just a solo. But he does that. I don't know if you noticed that we've done that Kiss thing every year at No Name Records.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
He's
yeah.
part of that.
Okay,
He's so that trio that I do, it's Jake, myself, and then Steve Boykin, who is another amazing guitar player who I played in a band with in high school.
sure.
But he also does the duo thing with another guy, and then he does solo as well. So
Yeah, I feel like that's, it's a good way to change it up.
yeah,
You do the
yeah, because you're
same
doing a
thing
duo
for
now
so
too,
long.
right? With
Yeah.
Chase, and
Yep, yeah. Have you met Chase yet
I
at
have
all?
not met him. I mean, we're Facebook friends, just like how it always starts with musicians. It seems like.
Mhm.
So I've not had the pleasure of meeting him in person yet.
Sure. Yeah, we just played on Saturday, and, yeah, he's we went to the same school, and, he graduated 2014, I was 18, but we never talked in high school, but, we kind of reconnected afterwards, but yeah, we do that. He plays in a couple different projects too, and I feel like that's it's good to switch it up because you do too much of the same thing. It's like listening to the same band on repeat forever, like,
Yeah.
you gotta change it up.
Well, and that's, I mean, that's what essentially, I mean, 90% of what I do is just me and my guitar. But
Yeah.
it is fun to once in a while I'll do, those shows with Jake, and on occasion I'll do a show with Mark Stone, a duo show out west somewhere where he lives now. I also do a duo in Arizona with a friend of mine, Lance Eric, who was in Bang Tango for about 17 years. He was
Oh,
a bass
really?
player for
Okay.
Bang Tango. Yeah.
Okay.
So and he's in another band called Color of Chaos down there as well in Terrashane. But he and I do a duo. So I do a solo show when I'm there. So a solo show and then a duo show with him. And then I'm also now playing bass in a band down there that were high school friends of mine. And so we play on the same bill with when Lance and I do the duo show.
And
So
that's from
from
where'd you go to school at, you said? Albert Lee?
in Scottsdale,
Or
Arizona.
In
So
Scottsdale,
Albert
okay.
Lee, yeah, it's kind of confusing. So I've kind of got two sets of friends. So the Steve Boykin, I went to Albert Lee High School. I graduated from there with him, but I also went to high school in Arizona. And I
Gotcha.
play playing bass down there in their group when I'm down there, kind of going forward. Their bass player they had for 30 years. He and his wife are moving overseas, so um,
Oh
myself
shit.
and another guy are gonna fill in when we're in town. Um,
So did you
so
so you graduated in Albert Lee, so you were like what, down
yeah.
in Arizona like ninth, 10th grade, something like that?
So I was there seventh, ninth, 10th, and 1 year in my first year of college was down
Okay,
there.
cool.
Yeah, and then the rest was up until up prior to me being like 9, 10 years old. I was all over the place. So St. Cloud, places in Iowa, everywhere. And so where I live now, which I've lived a long time in Champlin, this is the longest I've ever lived in one spot. My parents, when they were together, moved a lot, and then once they were divorced, my mom moved to Arizona, and then so I just went back and forth wherever the wind
Yeah.
blew me at that time.
Yeah, I suppose. It's a nice change. I'd like to have a dedicated spot in Arizona or something too. Go there
Yeah, so
whenever
I
you
go
want.
down 3 times a winter still. So I go down in October for a couple weeks, January for a couple weeks, and then usually the first couple weeks of April. And, I'll do at least 2 shows down there. Sometimes I do 3,
Yeah,
sometimes 4, but it's usually there's 2. There's a brewery right by my parents' house that I play every time, and then, there's a place that's at Fountain Hills, which is right next to Scottsdale. It's kinda up in the hills a little bit.
okay,
And then there's a place, this Asian restaurant, which is a music venue as well, called Focal that we play. That's when I do the duo with Lance, and then the Burnlackers, which is that other band, they play after us.
sure, okay.
So I do those two every time. It's usually kind of in the middle of the trip, but it's always nice to get out of here for a couple weeks when it's you
Especially when
know
it's -40 out or something,
Yeah,
yeah.
I just got back a couple weeks ago, and when I left Arizona, it was 74, and it was in that cold spell here, and I got off the plane, walked out to -9. Dude, it was when those doors open, at the airport, it's like,
Yeah.
holy shit.
You still got your shorts on and your tank?
Well, luckily, I knew it was coming, so no, I didn't.
Yeah.
I When I usually leave though, it's funny. When I left, it was like 30, and I had my shorts on, and I had whatever. But when I coming back, I'm always prepared for them all. I didn't have a coat with me, but I had just gone to the Barrett Jackson car show, and I had bought this like heavy sweatshirt, so I just wore that. But but yeah, it's still a shock, man. And when you walk out that, and when you've been in 2 weeks of like perfect 74-degree weather,
Yeah,
and
no,
then come
you
back to that.
you're hanging out in the desert with some cactuses and you come back and
Yeah.
yeah, you got
Yeah,
snowmen here. Yeah. No,
yeah.
that's, yeah, we I've just played down in Arizona in September. We were in Phoenix. But yeah, there's a lot of cool places down there. I met a lot of people and they're just like, dude, there's so many breweries and all that. Cause yeah, this is off topic. What is your favorite type of place to play between like restaurants,
Um,
breweries,
I like breweries a
wineries?
lot. It's a cool vibe. I mean, I played 2 of them this weekend. I played Friday and Saturday at breweries, and, it's I don't know, it's a cool vibe. People are there to just enjoy a good beer,
But they're not
and
getting drunk, right? I
exactly.
mean,
There,
it's
and I always
and
say that, when you used to play in bands, I'd be out till 1:30 in the morning. It was like, how many Coors Lights or Busch Lights can these people drink in a night and get shit faced? That was
yeah,
their goal, right?
that's the goal.
Um,
Yeah.
and that's when shit goes down. And I mean, I can't tell you how many times that you know people are running into your microphone and
Oh, dude.
wanting to sing, and all the ask holes, the ones that always come up and in the middle of your song asking you if you know this obscure song by
Yeah.
some obscure band, or
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 they're
Freebird, of
or they're
course.
dancing their beers right over your
Yep.
freaking guitar pedal or something. Just
Oh, yep,
that
yep.
happened to me one time, dude. I was 15 playing with the Vulcan boys, the 80s
Oh yeah,
thing, and some drunk ladies, she freaking shorted my amp, like, and then couldn't play the rest of the night. And that's
yeah,
when and that's why I think that's why because I've never touched alcohol until after I was 21.
yeah.
'Cause I just for that reason, because I would see people like that getting shit faced all the time and
Hmm.
spilling beer everywhere and going to the bathroom, some guy's peeing all over the floor, and I'm just like, "Dude, man, like, this is what alcohol does to you," you know? So I was never
Yeah.
like, a
Wasn't your
cornfield.
thing.
No, I was never like a party cornfield kid or like any of that, I just
Yeah.
had seen too much of that shit, you know? That's it's probably a good thing. I mean, it worked out, so
Oh yeah, and
it's
it's
funny.
I haven't drank in almost 7 years, but it's funny the less tolerant I am of that stuff sitting on this end, and I never really was a huge drinker, anyways,
Yeah.
um, but not even having a couple to take that edge off, if you will, that my tolerance for that behavior. And when I see it going on, it just irritates me because I'm like, yeah, it don't have to be like that, It's like,
Well, and that's why I like playing like breweries too because,
yeah,
yeah, like you said, they're not there to get drunk.
no,
And,
no,
it's like, it's like, I always say brewery people are like the wine drinkers of the beer community pretty
yeah,
much.
that's true.
They
That is
just kind
true.
of just wanna sip their shitty IPA and, like, with their pants rolled up, and their little hat on. Let them do it. You
Yep,
know?
exactly. I mean, they're spending like $8 on a beer, so they're not going to be chugging it and trying to get,
Yeah.
to the night. They're going to sit there and enjoy it. But I don't know. It just seems like it's a cool, I like the fact that, like, where I played Friday at Omni in Maple Grove.
Oh, yeah, it's a fun yeah,
Yeah, it's a cool place, and I was out in the tent, and people had their dogs out there, and it was busy, and it was super nice, super cool night, super chill night.
well, I
People,
feel like you
yelling
can
out songs.
talk to anybody. Like,
Yeah,
you can go up to literally anybody at a brewery and just
yep,
have a conversation with them,
yep,
and, like, if you go to a bar and you try to talk to someone, they just they're gonna either spit on you or, they're gonna kick you or something, I feel like,
yeah.
depending, and, yeah, I've never really had a bad experience at a brewery, ever.
No, I don't think I have either. I mean, I've had plenty in bars late at night.
Yeah, oh, yeah, of
I've had
course, yeah,
plenty
yeah,
of those, and but yeah, I'd say out of all of, 'em, I mean, I'm thankful for all of the opportunities. I will say that, but
for sure, of
if I
course,
was
yeah,
to be able to play 220 times in one kind of venue,
like,
I would say,
environment.
yeah, I'd take the brewery any day. And it's, usually the staff is usually pretty cool, and not to say anything bad about some bars, but sometimes the staff don't even want you there. So it's like, when you're walking
If
into
they know
that,
you're playing, I go to
yeah,
some
oh, I've had
bars,
that
and then they're
too.
just like, "Oh, there's a band tonight?" It's like, "Fuck."
Yeah, we have music
Dude.
tonight. I've gotten that a few
Oh,
times, and that's the worst way to start a night, man.
oh,
It's like
dude. I just
you're
played
already like
yeah.
you already got a mood going, right?
Oh, dude. I won't say the venue, but it was like a month and a half ago. I walk
Yeah.
in, set my stuff up on the little stage thing, and
Hmm.
the the bar lady's looking at me. "We got music tonight?" I'm like, "I
Yep.
swear to God."
Yep.
I was just like,
That is the absolute worst way to start a night, and it really does. I mean, I
yeah.
try to avoid it, but it puts an instant, like, ugh, this is gonna be one of those nights when you
Well,
get
I know,
stuff
and
like
it's
that.
it's so hard to just mentally even just wanna
Yep,
play,
yep,
and just be there. Yeah,
yep.
and that's
Because if
is
the staff doesn't want you there, what I mean, it's
well,
like,
yeah, then I'm just a nuisance at this point,
yeah, yeah,
So,
turn
like, shit.
turn down. It's like,
Oh, dude, yeah, I've gotten that too. It's like, "Do you even want me here?"
yeah,
Like, you just put the DJ thing on or whatever,
yeah,
but, I mean, whatever. But, yeah, I mean, for the most part, I think places are pretty good, but, yeah, you always get those bad apples that'll just kinda ruin
yeah.
it for the week,
And
just
I don't really have much of those anymore. I think one
yeah,
of the luxuries of being able to play as much as I do, and you know this now, is you can kind of
pick
pick
and
and
choose.
choose a little
Yeah,
more. I mean, not to say that I can pick and choose wherever I want to play. I can, but it's not that way.
yeah.
But you can be a little more selective, I guess, if you will.
Yeah, like, you know
Not
what you
play
want.
9 to 1 at somewhere. You
Yeah,
know,
or like in Wisconsin when they're playing, some bars are like 2 to what would it be? Yeah,
like
or
10 to 2 or
10 to 2, yeah,
yeah,
10 to
yeah.
2,
I don't.
and it's just like,
Oh
dude,
man, I don't miss that at all. And that's the one thing why I've kind of stayed away from joining a band again, um, is I don't wanna do that. Well, and also I don't I don't wanna really have 4 or 5 personalities I have to deal with on a daily basis
well,
either,
I always say people too, they're like, "Oh, why aren't you in a band?" It's like, well, I play in a band now, but
Yeah,
it's kind of, choppy like that. But my main income and like just like it's not a
yep,
band. And I always tell people it's like you're dating 5 women at the same time, and it just
100%.
never goes over well. Like you got
Nope.
4 or 5 different people having different opinions, and you got
Yeah.
schedules, and then it's one guy is always late, and you're pissed off at him because he's it's like man, and that's when I started. I was just like, you know what, I'm just trying this by myself, and
Yep. Well, and I will
Yeah.
say though, like
It's
I
fun.
was when I was
It's
in
always
Sweet
fun.
Addiction, that was fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun because it was it was 5 guys, but it was we only did like 3, 4 shows a year, if that,
Mhm.
and they were always huge, and they were
Yeah.
always like, we got together a week before the show and we played the shows. It wasn't like we were, we did write some stuff. I mean, we had some new stuff, but it was because I don't know if you know how that started. Joe,
I don't.
rest in peace, Mr. Spanbauer, had that band back in like the late '80s, early '90s, and then he wanted to for one of his birthday parties. You remember those? They were always huge. He wanted to do where he got up and did Sweet Addiction songs. So he contacted me and Chad Hasseldall and Jason Reed and Rich and said, "Do you guys want to do these songs one show? You learn these songs, we do one show." We had so much fun doing that show and leading up to that show that we ended up going like 4.5, 5 years. And it was super good. It was super chill. Well, Spanbauer, he was,
Yeah. Mhm.
he could be a grump, but in that scenario, he was awesome and everybody wanted to be there and there was no there was no shit going on. It was just a lot of fun, and I think part of it too is we always played really good bills. We were playing, you
That
know,
helps a lot.
it does, and
There's
then we,
nothing worse
as
than
I
yeah.
think I told you that we ended on the main stage at Rockfest, which was super cool. That would cool way to end a band, if you will. Um, but so that band that was unique though. I mean, that wasn't you weren't together every week writing songs and there wasn't a whole lot of opinions to be had. I mean, there wasn't a
Sure.
whole lot to have decisions on, right? Usually it was Joe's like, "You guys all free for a show?" And we're like, "Yeah, let's do it,"
Yep.
and get together a week before, make sure we had the songs good and although there was one time, I don't remember, we were going to play Moondance.
Okay.
We were getting ready for Moondance and he wanted us to learn the Sabbath song. I don't remember what show it was. I can't remember. It's funny. But I'm not going to say who, but somebody showed up not prepared, and we were in Jason Reed's basement, and we started the song, and we were about a quarter of the way through, and he just like slammed his microphone down and ran up the stairs. He was fucking pissed. He was super mad. And then when he came back down, I had an amazing relationship with Joe, even back in when he was just a sound guy, being his grumpy self on. I always was able to joke with him. So when he
Yeah.
walked back down, I was just laughing at him. And he's like, he was not, he was still pissed, but it was super funny. That was the only time he ever got upset in that whole time. But I don't know what it was about, you know, um, that song, and he just lost it and went and
Yeah,
stomped
I've
up the steps and
yeah, I've had my moments like that too. I think we all have, It's always that one guy, he's not ready, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, that comes with the territory though,
yeah, yeah.
and
He was. Well, I think part of it was I think he knew he wasn't prepared because I think when the guy walked in, he said, "Yeah, I listened to it on the way here." So when you say you listened to it on the way there, yeah, you're
perfect.
probably not prepared to know the song, right? So
Yeah, no. Yeah, it's funny because I was just talking to someone the other day about this, and, like, I've always played, started growing up, I always played in bands that were the other guys were older than me,
yeah. Oh, I'm
So,
sure.
like,
Yeah.
being 18, 19, and I'll be playing jam with these other guys, and they're in their 60s, 50s,
Hmm.
and 60s, no problems,
Yep.
because 'cause they're all adults, and, like, you got a bunch of dipshits and their brain isn't even developed to my age, Like, shit, my brain is just getting developed, I still don't even think it's there, but, yeah, it's hilarious though, because like, I've always just, you know, been playing with people, my dad's age,
Yeah.
just guys like that, it's just no bullshit, it's so much easier to
Well, they've
do
gone
it.
through it all, especially players
Right.
like that. They've gone through all that shit. And
Yeah.
there's still some of those guys that are in my age range that you can still feel the '80s attitude, if you know what I mean.
Oh, yeah, dude, yeah, I see that everywhere, yeah, yeah.
I mean,
A lot of that.
I was on a I won't go too far into the details, but I was playing with Mark Stone. We were playing a festival. There was us and another band, and one of the people was pretty diva like, and it was I'm like, dude, we don't need to be like this. It's like
Yeah.
just chill out.
Just
It's
have
you're
some
playing music.
fun, yeah, right, yeah. Yeah,
But
yeah, it can be interesting. But yeah,
That can be.
good job with the solo gigs.
I love it though. I mean, it's fun when you do on occasion get to like when you went on tour. I bet it was a lot of fun playing with a band and
Oh,
being in
oh
front of
yeah,
people.
like right. It's just it switches it up,
It
and
does,
it's
and it's
it's a
fun to do
new.
that once in a while. That's why I really
Mhm,
did like playing in Sweet Addiction because, like, 3 or 4 times a year, I got to go up and play loud, fun music in front of 3, 400, if not more than that, people,
mhm,
and just have a good time. And then oh, it's funny, I should tell you this. So, this was the good bars. I, or no, Sweet Addiction. So, Sweet Addiction played, Rockfest twice. The last year was on the main stage. The year before that was on the Who's on Top stage, the bigger stage,
okay,
the
yep,
one up on Pill. And so we played. I think that was the year we played with Seven Dust, maybe. And we played to probably 1,500 people, something like that.
sure.
And so I had one of those 2 gig days. So I did that in the afternoon. I played it. We played like 3 o'clock or something, 3 to 4. And so then I had to hop in the car and drive up to Rogers to play at I don't even remember what the place
Jesus.
was called. And I
From
played to two
Rockfest?
from Rockfest. I drove
Man.
from there up to Rogers and played to 2 people in this bar, and they weren't paying attention. And they put me back in this little corner. So I
Oh
went
god.
from, just rocking out, in front of, 1,500 people to 2 people that didn't care that I was there. It
And
was
they're gonna be there anyway,
and they were
They
gonna be there anyways, exactly. It was a fill-in gig, and as I told you, I have a hard time saying no, right? And so somebody had reached out and said, "Any chance you could do this gig?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure. I can make." I wish I would have stayed because I wanted to. I always liked hanging at Rockfest, but
Yeah, I mean,
so I
this is
did it.
networking, man. It's a
Yep,
networking opportunity.
yep. So I did it, and I like it was one of those times too where nobody was. It was 2 people there, and then they're putting the chairs on the bar towards the end of the show. And it's like it was definitely a mind fuck. Let's just put it that way. From going from that in the afternoon to this at night, it was super crazy. So
I kinda had a moment like that too, but it was a lot more fun than 2 people. But I played at the, it was in October at the Ledge in Waite Park. Have you been there
oh
at
yeah,
all?
yep. I've
Okay.
not been there, but I've seen it, and I saw your photos from it, which was
Yeah,
cool.
so I that was my 2nd time, getting to perform there. But they did have, like, a flannel fest thing, and it's funny because there's 1,500 people there, but it doesn't look like it looks like there's 30,
Yeah,
30 or
right.
40 people.
Because it's so big.
Right, but it's cool though, like I said, it's a
Yep,
different spot, it's like big ass stage, big speakers, got the
yep,
screens, projected on you and the camera following you around.
yep.
Um, but yeah, I did that and then I had to leave and I went and played a private party right after that on someone's deck,
Yeah.
for like a German, it was like a German, what is it called? Like the German Fest, Oktoberfest thing.
Oh,
And so it
sure.
was like this big ass stage, huge production, lights, giant, into like a deck. It's
The
like a
deck,
little
yep.
patio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's very similar. At least you
but
had some
that's
people to play to, but
oh yeah,
yeah,
it was
same
super
thing. I mean,
fun,
they
super
basically moved
fun.
like a 2 top table out of that corner and put me back in that
Yeah, and that
corner,
always sucks too. And then another thing,
Yeah.
like it just you show up to a place and there's like a bunch of tables there. It's like, oh, where do you want me to set up? And then the
Yeah,
owner's like, right over there. And I'm like, oh,
yeah.
where there's 30 people are eating right there, and they're just now
Ah,
getting their drinks. And the food's not. They're
yep.
just ordering it. God, man.
That bugs me too. That
Ugh.
it's like be prepared. Well, that's the thing. More than likely, that staff doesn't even know that they have music that night, and
No,
it's
yeah,
like
no.
they don't care. But at the same time, there are many places that
Yeah,
well,
yeah,
like
yeah.
Chad at Maple Tavern. I can't say enough about what he's done
No,
for
he's
us over there.
badass. I love
I
that
mean,
dude.
he built that little band shell for us, and he has a PA, and
Mhm.
and electrical in the right spots, and it's like
Well, yeah,
it.
the guys like that, it's nice because they're thinking ahead. They're like, oh, we're
Yep,
gonna put a speaker over way on this side of the patio so people can hear you, and like
yep,
they're thinking about that. And then you go to some places and they're just like put you, and then you can't even find a power like an outlet or something. They're just like,
yeah,
where's the outlet? They're like, oh, it's 40 feet over there. Do you have
yeah,
extension cords? I'm like, well,
yeah.
yeah, but fucking not 80 feet of them. Like
Right, exactly, and that's just the difference in mentality. You have somebody like Chad that's on that end, and then you have others
yeah.
that barely even care. It's like, well, why
Yeah.
have music if that's the case?
I know
But
it's just like a roller coaster, like
it
up and
is,
down, like the whole
it
year
is.
playing shows. I mean, 85%, it's all
Oh
good. But
yeah,
it's funny though, because like those gigs are the ones you kind of remember, like the bad
you
ones
do,
and
you
the good
do.
ones, like the good ones, they all just blend in together,
They do.
and then I can't even remember like, oh, at this gig, like I did, talk to this guy, I did that. Like, yeah, I don't remember because it was all fine and everything went over well. But like the ones you don't remember, they just like
Yeah.
stick out like a sore thumb.
Well, the one I mean, so last year I did get to. I opened up for. You familiar with Don Felder, who was in the
I had
Eagles?
that down. I was just gonna ask
Oh,
you
you
about
did.
that.
Okay. So I got to open that show, and I tell you what, that was cool. I mean,
Is that was
that
that
was
the
at
coolest
Treasure
show?
Island, and
Treasure
what's that?
TI. Yeah, that was
It
that
was
the
a
coolest
TI.
show
Yep.
you've done?
Is that
Was
the what?
was that one of the coolest shows you've ever played?
Absolutely the coolest show I've done. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Rock Fest ones were super cool, but this was another level. I mean, he's a Hall of Famer. He's wrote Hotel California. I mean, it's crazy, but yeah, I mean, just from the second. So Jake was with me that night as my guitar tech.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
the second we walked up, I mean, the doors opened. I mean, I've had this in other places too, where the local crews there, and they're as soon as you walk in, they take your stuff, right? They're taking your stuff on stage. You're not carrying a thing.
Right.
But I had a dressing room. I had catering. I shared the catering with him and his band. Um, they had NA beer in my dressing room for me. Afterwards, they had a pizza for me. Hey, there's me and and um, it was it was super amazing. And that's the drummer of Cheap Trick right there,
Oh, really?
Dax Nielsen. Yeah, that's Rick Nielsen's son who plays
Damn.
in Cheap Trick now.
Oh yeah, for Don
So
Felder
he was playing
production.
drums for him that night. Yeah, that was probably yeah, there's Jake. And there's Jake with Dax. Yeah. So it was super
Yeah,
cool.
that
It was
looks
probably a
sweet.
couple thousand people there for that one, but I don't know, man. People were watching. They were involved. You could see them. They were in the show where a lot of
Yeah,
show, well, they were there. They were present, I guess, if you will.
they're engaged, they're paying
Yes,
attention,
engaged. That's the word I was looking for. I was trying to find that word. Yes, engaged. And it was super cool. And I did some originals, but I also threw out covers that I knew that crowd would like. So like Bob Seger and
Oh yeah.
I do "Thank You" by Led Zeppelin, and I don't remember what else I did that night, to be honest with you. But it was super cool, and I mean, I was treated 100% like I was in the
Roy
same realm as Don Felder. I
Dude,
mean,
that's
just
so
everything.
kick ass, man.
It was super cool. Even they were just catering to. It was I'm like anything. It was crazy. It was like anything I wanted or needed, they kept asking me. I'm like, I'm not used to this. I'm like, I'm cool with the pizza afterwards. It's
Or some
like-
yeah, some
and
cheese.
Don was a super nice guy too. I had always heard bad things about him. I had heard
Yeah.
not bad, but I had heard things about him about he he doesn't sign. I think it's guitars he doesn't sign anymore.
Okay.
But I had heard that he was very kind of off. He didn't want to be engaging with people. But he got so I after I played, I went back and I was back there, and then he played, and I'm waiting for him to come back so I could chat with him a little more and thank him and all that. And he wasn't coming back. I'm like, what the hell? So I poked my head out. He's out there signing everything, taking pictures with
Oh, really?
whoever. He stood
Wow.
out there, out in front of the stage or on the stage, I guess, until the last person was done getting his signature, and then it came back. So I
That's
thought
super cool, man.
that is, and that's not what I expected out of him at all. Maybe I had just heard the Don Henley side of everything,
No, I
in the
don't
past.
yeah. And that's like, I always, been talking about this too. Like I'm a huge George Lynch fan,
Yes, yeah,
and I heard mixed things with him too. And I
yep,
feel like everyone that has bad days and they're touring, you got guys,
yeah.
oh, what guitar pedal did you use back in that? Yeah, like that would piss me off too. But I just have a feeling, I just remember like Jimmy Winoco always told me too. He's like, never meet your idols, man. They always disappoint you. And it always
Yep.
stuck with me when he told me that. I'm like, One time I meet George Lynch, he'd probably be a dick to me, and I'll never listen to Dokken again, you know?
Yeah, right. No, thankfully I was pleasantly surprised. And then Dax, he's been in the band for quite a while now in Cheap Trick, but he was playing that night with Don. But it was super cool to meet him because his dad is another reason why I'm do what I do. Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick is huge in my life, so it was cool to
Yeah.
chat with him, and he was a super nice guy too. Um, but it was a cool night overall. I mean, it was probably one of the definitely it might be the highlight of what I've done as far as shows are concerned. It
Dude, it
was
looked
it,
like it, man.
it was
I
cool, and
mean,
then I did have a guy come out and film the show. He had like two cameras and took the feet off the board and stuff, and so I have all of that. I just put out two of the songs from it that I put out on.
sure.
I think you were probably playing one of them when earlier, but
Yeah.
yeah. So it's cool to have that. It was a fun show. It was. I mean, I think I posted somewhere about this, but I kind of before the show, before the doors were open, I went up into the back of the arena and just sat and just kind of looked over it and just kind of reflected. I'm like,
Mhm.
this is pretty damn cool, man. I mean, in an hour, this place is going to be full, and it was cool to kind of think about that road to
Yeah, I
that
mean,
point.
you're right. Yeah, it makes you look at things a little different, you know?
Yeah, it did, and
And,
I was super reflective, if you will, in that minute, and I'm glad I did it because it was super cool, and it helped me enjoy the show too. Because a lot of times in stuff like that, I'll just kind of go through it and just not be present for it, and this I was every second of that
yeah.
35 minutes I had on that stage. And no, it was cool. I enjoyed every part of it, and thankful for that opportunity. So hopefully I get to do it at some point down the road again, but
Well, I mean, it
um
just takes one time, you
it
know?
does.
Like,
Yep.
when I was doing the ledge thing, I got asked the first time because I
Yep.
was doing piano guys. I know they were doing it and they wanted another person. And then, um, as you know, I'm still new to singing, and my goal was to sing one song on
Nice.
on the big stage, you know, and I did
Yep.
6 of them, 7 of them,
Nice.
8 of them, something like that.
That's
But,
awesome.
I think the coolest moment for me, like, highlight was, my grandpa started to be my dad's dad. He kind of taught me my first song and stuff like that, and, he
Was
came
he a
to
guitar player?
yeah, he would jam, like, he you know, kind of mess around with it, but he wasn't, like, a big in any big bands or anything like
Hmm.
that. But, it was cool because it kinda got to come, like, full circle,
Yeah,
pop this
absolutely.
up, because he came out to the ledge. Yeah, that's me and him, so I got to bring him up on stage.
Oh, that's super
So
cool, man.
that was kind of a cool moment.
Yeah.
But, no, with dressing rooms and stuff, this is sweet. So I had
Yeah.
my own suite, and, I think it's crazy, dude, like, you have your own
Yep.
bathroom, and then your shoes
Yeah.
don't stick to the floor, like, when you go take a piss, like,
Yep.
you know? It's
Yep.
crazy. It's like, "Oh,
Oh my
man."
god, that's funny. You
And there's,
say
like
that.
and there's, like, showers in there and, like,
Uh-huh.
freaking royalty, man, like,
Oh yeah. I
makes you
remember some of those green rooms of some of the places that I'd play back in the, good bars days, like you were probably running around there, but the 400 bar and like the Nomad and places
Yeah.
like that where they had, I mean, they were in dingy basements, kind of like
Yeah.
7th Street Entry. I don't know if you played 7th Street Entry, but
I've
theirs is
never
that way
have,
too.
no. Never
It's
have.
just a dingy basement is all it is. But then they have some shitty couch that's been there for probably 40 years.
Oh, dude, and there's
That's just
bloods. There's
disgusting. You know?
dude, there's blood, semen, there's, like,
Uh-huh.
spit, there's
Everything you
probably
could think of is probably in
anything.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't probably catch
Yeah.
herpes sitting on that thing or something, man. I wouldn't
So
even
when you
wanna touch that.
go, so when you have a really nice one like yours and mine, it's just like
Yeah,
it's super. It's weird though because you're not used to that. You're like, what do
I
I do
know.
in here?
Right,
It's like,
yeah, it's like yeah, I'm just sitting in there too, I was like, "What is this even for?" You know? Like,
yeah,
yeah, I
all
don't know.
right. Like I got a cooler of any beer and what do I? Because before shows, I'm always I'll set up and I'll be walking around or whatever,
Yeah,
and
just
that's what I end up
mingling, talking
doing.
to people, networking,
Yeah,
you're working, you
yeah,
know? You're just saying hi, thanking people,
exactly.
talking to people, you know?
Exactly. So in a show like that, the doors aren't open, and so I went up to the catering, and I don't eat before shows,
I don't either.
so
Nope, it's a weird thing,
so
yeah.
I went up to catering, and I'm like, well, I gotta at least eat something little, just so I've eating the catering, right? So I did that, and then that's when I went back, and nobody was in the arena except for like the sound guys, and so that's when I went up into the back of it and sat up there, and then I'm like, I still had like an hour and a half before the show. I'm like, what am I gonna do? You know, but
Yeah.
but yeah,
Yeah.
Jake. Luckily, Jake was there, and he was able to hang with me. And then my daughter came back for a while and hung and stuff. So but yeah, it was super cool experience. And as you saw, and great crowd there and cool stage, and you
Well,
know,
even so, like, my friend's band, they're called the Elevators, they just played at First Ave, like, just speaking
hmm
of 7th Street entry,
yep,
and they pretty much sold out First Avenue, but they got me on the guest list, which was really cool, so I got to go backstage, and I've never been
nice,
backstage full all access at First Avenue, and
super small back there, isn't it?
well, this is, like, the main room, and,
Yeah,
yeah, I never realized how small the rooms are. Never It's crazy. I don't know. Figured it would've
yeah,
been
it's
really big.
no, but it's yeah. The last time a friend of mine, my friend Lippy, played there. I don't know, last year sometime, and yeah, like right behind the stage, there's barely any room. I mean, it's like
Yeah.
a foot or two between the back of the stage and the back wall.
Yeah, I've
It's
never been
crazy
back
how
there. Yeah, I was looking, but I got all the set lists and stuff on the wall.
yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah, right back there.
Yeah,
It's I
mhm.
mean, it's a couple feet of room behind that stage, if that. It's crazy how small it is back there.
Yeah, you just think about all the people, like, walking back there, dude.
Oh, it's
It's
yeah,
like
it's crazy.
and then, like,
It's
I went into the garage, and I went on my friend's tour bus, which was pretty sweet. Got to see all
that's
the
awesome.
new state of the art, like, all the, brand new tour buses, which is they're all crazy, man.
Yeah,
Those new buses is insane,
it is
and,
insane. Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been on one in a while. I think the last one I was on was Hairballs, and that was 8 years ago or something like that.
Sure.
And I think they even have a new one now. I think I
I'm
saw
sure,
somewhere that.
man. And I never realized how expensive they are because, like, I
Oh
know
man.
my one friend I kinda got to know, he, played with Suicidal Tendencies for 7 years, 5 years, something like that, and, just talking to him, like, how much because they rent them
Oh,
out, for a month,
they're
and, like,
crazy.
fuck, it's like he said it was like 120,000 for, like, a
Yeah.
month with a driver or 2 drivers, something like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, I suppose you have to have two because they can only be on the road for a certain amount of time or something.
Yeah, mhm. Yeah, I mean, didn't realize they're that much. It's wild.
Yeah, it's crazy. I suppose you have to when you have two guys like that because you have especially if you're going from town to town and you got to get there at a certain time, you have to keep on the road and can't stop and sleep because I think they not only they have a road time, they have sleep requirements too, if I'm not
Mhm,
mistaken.
yeah. It was funny, I
So
was talking to my buddy, he plays bass in this band, and I'm like, You getting some sleep, doing this?" He's like, "Nope."
yeah, those bunks don't look very comfortable. I can tell you that.
Well, then, it all depends on the drive on the driver, I guess, too, and, like,
Yeah.
if you had a good driver, it's probably good, but if you got guy taking corners too fast, probably not as good. Falling right out of your
Bouncing you out of your bunk.
Yeah, right, just rolling you
Yeah.
back and forth. But no, to wrap this up, what would be some advice for younger musicians like myself or other guys kinda getting into the game? I'm always curious about this.
Well, I think you've done a good job of it, but that networking thing is huge. Go see other people play, get to know people. I think that's as far as the gig part of it, that's huge. Being out there when you can. I mean, at this point, it's hard for you and I to go out and see other people play because we're playing so
Oh,
much.
dude, it's so bad. It's
It's
like I got
it's
buddies
really
too. "Come
hard.
see my band." Can't.
Can't.
Come
Yeah, and
like
it's so and now it's a little but back when I was, not playing as much or especially when I was in an original band and that's all I was doing, I would go out and see other bands because I had the time to do it.
Yeah.
But I think that's big. I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. That's as far as getting gigs, I think that's the biggest part is that networking aspect and be a nice guy. Don't be a jerk. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen many guys that have an attitude, and and also too, I've seen many guys try to take the shortcuts too. I mean, you gotta put your hours in, and you gotta go out and play some gigs you probably don't want to play, or you may have to play for less than you want to play for at first, and but at the
Mhm.
same time, you want to keep that integrity too. You don't want to, you know take a shit ton of gigs for super low money because you're just
Right.
hurting everybody else in the scene when you do something like
Dude,
that.
it's a whole nother conversation for another time.
I mean, we could
We're
probably
gonna have
spend
to
2 hours just
we're
talking
gonna
about that.
yeah, we're gonna have to have you on again, man. Just talk business because that's a whole nother topic. But,
Yes, but I don't know. I mean, just as far as that's concerned, as far as playing and that kind of thing, just be yourself, do your thing. I mean, you probably do it like me. I don't. My voice is not Jeff Tate, so I'm not going to do Queensryche songs. But
yeah.
I do an Iron Maiden song as me. So I do Wasted Years, and I do it as me.
Mhm.
So you change things to, you know, to suit your range, your style, whatever it is. Just be you, I guess, and
Yeah.
that'll get you as far as I guess it'll get you. I don't know, but sometimes I almost think though, young guys, if you want to do this, you have to be able to take rejection
Big
because,
time.
as
Agree.
you could send out 100 emails and you might get one back, and that one you get back may say no.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
you do
like,
it.
see, you
So
have to be
nice.
able to not be offended by being ghosted
So
because
nice
that
to relate to someone.
yes, because that's anybody that probably books a band in a bar, their best technique is to ghost you. I mean, that's if they don't answer you, they don't have to let you down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'd rather honestly, I'd rather to anybody that is watching this and that does book bands for a bar, I'd rather you say no
Me
than
too.
ghost me.
Say something to me. Yeah.
Yep. Acknowledge you got the email.
Mhm.
Thanks for sending it over. We just don't have any room at this time, or you're not good fit for our bar. I don't care. I'm not offended by that at all.
Me neither, man. It's just like, give me an answer because, like, if I
Yep.
shoot you another 3 emails and I don't hear anything back from you,
Yep.
then you're gonna get mad. And, like, I'm not
Exactly.
trying to piss anyone off, and, like, I even went into a place one time, and I was like, "Hey, here's my business card," I sent them 3 emails, didn't hear anything back. I don't know, does your email did you even look at your emails? I don't know. And I went in there, I'm like, "Hey, my name's Max," and then they looked at my card. "You already sent me like 4 emails throughout the last 2 months," and I'm like, "Yeah."
Well, an answer.
I'm like, "You want a gig? Here I am. Here's my here," "You wanna get
And
something right now?" And they're like, "No, we're not looking for music." I'm like, "Well, you fucking say something,"
yeah. Well, I get it too. I mean, especially in a bar restaurant. I mean, they have somebody that runs one or owns one. They
It's
have
a
a
lot.
thousand different things they have to deal with, and
Mhm.
so I get it from a certain perspective. But it takes 2 seconds to reply.
Yeah,
No, thank you, or we're not interested at this moment, or just anything like that. Just to don't ghost. I mean, that's just for me, it's just a respect thing. You
sure.
know, um, just say no or just be cool about it. I mean, it's so I don't know. At the end of the day, just be cool. Be a nice guy, network, do your thing, practice. I don't know, and get out there and don't expect. I mean, I've had a few people too that you know when you're doing as much as you and I do. Sometimes people when they start out, they want to be there,
The
but
sad yeah,
it's not. I mean, it's a long road to get to even 50 gigs or even 100 gigs a year. It's a lot to build up to, and it takes
mhm.
time. Um,
When I think you have
and
to learn that people are buying they're not buying your music, but they're buying you,
you 100%.
you know?
Yes, that is a perfect way to say it. And if you're not making a money, you're not making a money. You're there to make. They're paying you, so you're there
We're
to
helping sell beer. That's what we're doing.
exactly. Yep. Especially with what when you're doing your solo cover gig, that's what you're there for. You know, and that you have to have you have to have that mindset, I guess. But at the same time, I mean, it's a little respect is not a lot to ask for,
Yeah.
when it comes to stuff. So,
No, I agree.
uh, but no, I would warn though, it's a tough game, as you know, and
It's a mental game. A lot
it's
of
a
it's a
mental
mental
game.
game.
It is a mental game, and it's never a downtime. Like you're always, no matter how much you think you may have a day off, you
Yeah.
don't have a day off because you got an email to book a gig. Okay, so now you got to put it on your website. You got to put it on, I don't know, a spreadsheet. You got to put it on your Facebook. You
Mhm.
got to do all that stuff. Or you spend the day looking for stuff if you need to fill dates, and
Or
it's
thinking about stuff, or like, what
or
could
thinking
I be
about
doing?
stuff.
Yeah, I'm the same
Exactly.
way, man. Even if you're just sitting on the couch watching TV, eating
Yep.
Pringles, you're still,
Yep.
how can I, you know, how can I better this, or like, what can I do? What else
Exactly.
can I do? Or yeah, but
Yeah,
no, that's good.
it's a 24/7. It's not. I think a lot of people. The one of the things that I've always it's always bugged me that um, that people don't really think it's a real job
Yeah.
when it's art is a job, man. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, if you will. Um, it's
And you
not.
stand, right? You stand or sit when you play? You stand, right?
I stand. Yeah,
Yes, me too.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's 3 hours of standing. Doing
Mhm.
some days it's 6, 7 hours standing on your feet. It's not just those 3 hours you're strumming your guitar and singing. It's that hour to get there. It's that
Mhm.
half hour to set up. It's playing your 3 hours, do the same thing, drive home, and
Yep.
then
Do it
deal with all the
again.
stuff you have to deal with.
Then you're in the hot sun and it's 80 degrees out.
Yep.
And then for me, I always bring extra underwear for my gigs. I'll go to the bathroom, I'll
Yep.
swap my undies out, I feel like a new guy. And they don't talk about that. They don't talk about you sweating your ass off for like,
No. No, and
yeah,
I,
it's
you know, you talk about the heat though. I did have an incident 7 years ago where I passed out and hit my head and had to be airlifted and all that stuff. So,
oh dude, I remember you
it's
saying that. Fuck.
yeah, you have to be careful with all that stuff. You just got to be aware of it, and
Yeah.
it's not just all. I think I used to see those memes of what it's like to be a musician, what people think it is versus what it is. You know,
Yeah.
like what they think it is. You're backstage with all these chicks and
All these
booze and all this
women, and
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I don't remember what the reality of it was, but no, it's not it. But again, at the end of the day, it's it's super cool. I mean, I love doing it. Absolutely love doing it, and I wouldn't ask for any other way to do it. So it's not just at the end of the day, it's not all fun and games, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, thank you for that. Thank you for the wisdom. Thanks for talking to me. Nah, dude, I appreciate you. Been a big fan of you, and I remember starting out, messaging you here and there, kind of seeing where you're
Yeah,
playing and like
yeah.
trying to copy what you're doing, and
Yeah,
not
I'm
quite
always
there
willing to
yet,
help.
but
As I told you before, I'm always willing to help, and I've had even people come out and play my breaks, just to get some stage time too. So
yeah,
that's the last thing I will say is always be willing to help another guy. It's not and me to me, it's not a competition. Yes, I know sometimes we're all after the same venues and whatever, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's a competition. We're all out
yeah.
there just trying to have a good time and make some money and pay the bills and um,
And it's not. I
um
mean, it's the same type. It's the same gig, but it's not the same thing. You got your
Right,
own. You got your
exactly.
own
You're not
brand.
me, I'm not you, and
Yeah,
it's a different thing, and I'm not gonna play the same place all 8 weekend nights
yeah.
there's plenty of room for other people, so
Hmm.
I would just say, yeah, be willing to help others whenever you can. It's not don't treat it as a they're trying to get something out of you, you know? And there are people that, maybe pushed out a little too far, and I've had that too, but at the end of the day, I think people are just trying to get better at it, and I'm always willing to help people.
Well, perfect, man. Well, thank you again. You
My
heard it
pleasure,
here,
my friend.
folks. Land 10,000 Sounds, Todd Michael Jameson. Check him out, Facebook. He's got his website. And yeah, see where he's going to be at this summer. He'll probably have 300 gigs probably this year. We'll see if he tops
Let's
220.
hope not. Like I said, I can't say no, so maybe you never know.
All right, man. Yeah, we'll have to do
My
this
brother,
again. I appreciate you, dude.
anytime. Take care,
Thanks.
brother.
Thanks,
See
brother.
ya.
Bye.